All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone who we want to teach well. And I want to say shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, your brother Karan is back with another lesson. And the title of this lesson comes from a video and a picture I'm going to show you. Also, some information out of this book in regards to weapons of World War III. All right, and there's the main weapon that I'm going to be speaking on is thermonuclear missiles, okay? Because those are what the Lord is going to send over here to Babylon to thoroughly cleanse this place, okay? All right, thermonuclear missiles. A lot of people are going to die by thermonuclear fire, all right? And that is a horrible way to die, okay? So this is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 13. For strong is his right hand, all right, and we know the right hand of Yahweh is Yahushai, that bendeth the bow. For his arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world, okay? So a bow and arrow, all right? So thinking about modern day times, because this was written of hundreds of years ago, and they did not have missiles as we have now. And what they described as, and what Ezra described as, what he saw a missile was a bow and arrow. All right, the bow, okay, is what holds the missile. All right, so in this case, what the bow is what holds the arrow. So in this case, in regards to missiles, the bow would be the silo, and the arrow would be the thermonuclear missile. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen of what a brother had sent me today, and is this, okay? You see it, all right? This is a sculpture of a right hand, okay? And is shooting, is in the midst of shooting its projectile missile, okay? All right, here at the top in this area right here is where the warhead would be, or in regards to an arrow, all right, this is where the arrowhead would be, okay? Here's the body of the arrow, and here are the fins of the arrow that help it push through the wind, okay? But this is one of the main weapons of World War III. All right, and nothing is going to be able to escape these when they get shot to the end of the earth. That also is spoken of in Joel, the 2nd chapter. All right. Let me see. Joel 2. I'm not going to show the scriptures. All right. You can follow along if that's what the Lord has in your spirit, but I'm going to keep this picture up so it can be stuck in your mind. Okay. So going into reading into this book, okay, it says Weapons of World War III. All right. And this book was published in 1981, okay, by Bison Books Limited in 1981. All right. So you can, so what, about 40 something years later, all right, the technological advances that this book does not, so the technology has advanced way more than what this book can elaborate on back in that time, about 40 years ago, okay? All right, but what I'm going to speak on and show pictures of is thermonuclear missiles, all right? I like to speak about these, okay? And Lord will, I'll be able to escape these, and you as well, okay? All right, because these are what is coming, okay? It's coming out of that silo, all right? That bow, okay? And if you continue to look, if I can get it right, you can see. All right, it's coming up. Let's see. All right, it's coming up. It's coming up, and then it's out. All right, and then down here is showing that it's more out of the way. All right, and then here in this picture right here is finally out, going to its destination. Okay, And the destination for these thermonuclear missiles, all right, is going to be America. Okay. All right. So it's a lot in here. I'm going to read just a little bit, then we'll get some scriptures. So it says, what is the military situation after we have had this tremendous exchange? Was a question in the Armed Forces Committee of the U.S. House of Representatives in 1964. The reply was, we are all dead. So let's say if Russia shoots a missile over here, do not think that China and Iran and North Korea is not going to shoot missiles over here. Or if any one of those countries shoot missiles first, the other is going to follow behind. And if the Lord gives America time to retaliate, which I hope he does not, okay, within that 30-minute window, all right, this whole place is going to be destroyed. So I got precepts written down on here. So I got Isaiah 34. All right, this is Isaiah 34. And I'm going to start at the top. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the whole world, and all that come out of it. All right, so the Lord is speaking to everything and everybody. For the indignation of Yahweh is upon all nations, okay? All nations, okay? All people and places, all right? And his fury is upon all their armies. All right. If you read 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, you can see what the Lord Yahushua did to the armies of these nations. All right. It says, he hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Exactly what Yahushua has done to these armies. Read 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. All right. And it's all based on the indignation of Yahweh. Okay. It says, their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. There's going to be bloodshed everywhere. All right. All the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved. Let's look at this word dissolved. And how is it going to be dissolved? We're going to get 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter as well. All right. The word is makak. All right. It says to decay, pine away. All right. Rot. All right. Fester. All right, be corrupted, consume away. All right, we know the Lord and understand that Yahweh Bashim outside is a consuming fire. Okay, so everything is going to be dissolved, is going to pine away. All right, it's going to decay. This place is already decayed. The Lord is going to put the finishing touches on it with these missiles. Okay, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down. And the host just goes into army. Let's look that up. Shabbat is the word. All right, army host. Okay, that which goes forth, army, warfare, host. Okay, all right, host, organized army. All right, so these organized militaries of the world. All right, so in this regards, all right, as the leaf falleth off the vine, and as the falling fig from the fig tree. All right. Says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. And if you're looking at this picture, this is one of the swords of the Lord. Okay. All right. You know, he's coming with the chariots, and those chariots going to be shooting laser beams. All right. Going back, it says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. And behold, that means to look, it shall come down upon Idumea. All right. And that you can correlate Idumea with Babylon. Okay. Because that's where Esau Edom reigns. Okay. Let me see, where was I at? And upon the people of my curse to judgment. The sword of Yahweh is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of kidneys and rams. For Yahweh hath a sacrifice in Basra. Again, another place of you can correlate to America. And let's see what it says in regards to Basra. All right, it says Basra, sheep fold or fortress, a town in Edom. All right, a place in Edom. All right, that's what Bozrah is. A great slaughter in the land of Idumea. Okay, so that's going to be here in America, man. Everybody that does not escape by the mercy of the Lord is going to be dead. Okay, just as in regards to this House of Representatives in 1964's response were to the question in regards to a tremendous military exchange. It says we are all dead. All right, that's what's coming. Okay, thermonuclear missiles. This, okay, this what you see on your screen right here. Okay, I'm gonna skip down in this in this book. It says the vehicle of the enormous power is an intercontinental ballistic missile or ICBM missile, a marriage of the fusion bomb and the long range ballistic missile. All right, that's what it was in about 1981. All right, they probably have combined multiple types of technologies. I'm gonna just say that. All right, and war efficient instruments to make these missiles more powerful. Okay, it says all. It says both, but both meaning America and Russia. All right, but I'm gonna say all because there's more than America and Russia that's building up their nuclear arsenal. Okay, all countries have poured vast amounts of money and resources into development and continuing refinement of these arsenals, which have become the visible measure of their relative political military power and standing in the world. So behind these thermonuclear missiles, these people are politically strong, militarily strong because they have something that can protect them, so to speak. Okay, but we, all right, the men of the Lord, we have Yahweh Shem Al Shai. All right, I'm going to read some scriptures out of Joel, the 2nd chapter. This is Joel chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "Blow ye the trumpet in Zion." Okay, blowing the trumpet symbolizes giving people a warning, and this is what the Lord has allowed me to do and other brothers throughout the four corners of the globe. It says, "Sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahweh cometh; it is nigh at hand." All right, and that's true, man. I today when I was going to the store, it's my second time, maybe my third time seeing this car where it had the precept Habakkuk 2 and 3, just the written precept, like the verse, the book, and the numbers, not the actual whole precept. But if you read and study the Bible, you know what Habakkuk 2 and 3 is speaking about. All right. It's just basically saying that what was said here, all right, the day of the Lord is coming, is not, all right, and though it tarry, wait for it, all right. So verse 2, it says, "A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there have never been the like, neither shall there be any more after it, even to the years of many generations," because this great people is symbolic for these thermonuclear missiles, man. Okay, all right. Continuing on, "A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame." All right, burning. So here is the fire in the front of, which is the warhead. Okay, behind where you see where you can see the fins. All right, where the fins of this missile is, that's where the fire is going to be coming out from behind to get the missile from out of the silo to America. All right, wherever the Lord allows it to land in America. All right. It says the land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and right, this place has been propagated as a paradise, but this place is actually, the worst place to live, America. All right. It says, "And behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, nothing shall escape them." Nothing. All right, nothing is going to escape them. All right. What did I read earlier? Dang, what did I read? Oh, okay. Going into 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, right? That's what it was. 2nd Ezra, the 16 and 13. "For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow." All right, going into these missiles coming out of the silos, right? And then his arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. And you see the arrow right here. Okay. This is going to destroy a lot of people. This is going to destroy a lot of things. All right. We're going to get that in 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, man. All right. And Lord will, I'm able to escape this and all these other plagues, as well as you brothers and sisters that, tune into these lessons, not just from me, but from all the other brothers throughout the four corners, man, and that believe wholeheartedly. But continuing on, it says the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, because they have power, all right? And as horsemen, so shall they run, all right? Remember, these missiles are going to be shot from the ends of the earth, so they have to have power to come from maybe Russia. I'm not going to say maybe, from Russia to over here to the west, man, okay? over from Iran to America, from North Korea over here to America, from China over here to America, all right? The missiles have to have a certain amount of fuel and I don't know the scientific terms or the terms for it, but it has to have some type of significant power, man, to get from one point to another point. All right, and the spirit of the Lord is going to be in them things. Okay, it says verse 5. It says, like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. All right, these weapons, all right, these thermonuclear missiles are the weapons of the Lord's indignation. So they're going to be ready, all right, because the Lord is a man of war and he's always ready, all right. Against Exodus 15:3. All right, this is Exodus 15:3. Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name, all right. So the Lord is always ready, man, all right, because he's a man of war. Trying to see, just skimming through, because I got have a lot of things marked in here. All right, this is another paragraph in this book. It says the marvel of the ICBM of the late 1970s and early 1980s is that they are expected to land in circles with considerably small radii drawn around targets whose coordinates and characteristics can be precisely determined. Okay, so I'm gonna look up this word radii. All right. All right. It says radii. It just Google says radius. It says a straight line extending from the center of a circle to or sphere to the circumference of it or surface. All right, the radius of a circle is half the diameter. The length of such a line. All right, any radial or radiating part. All right, let me see. Let me look up something else. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna just leave it at that because I don't see anything else. All right, but the whole point of me reading this is that these missiles are going to be precise. Okay, these missiles are going to be precise. So that also goes into Joel. All right. This is Joel chapter 2, verse 6. It says, before their faces the people shall be much pained, and it says all faces shall gather blackness. These people are gonna be sick, man. Okay. Look at that word, pained. All right, it says to twist, whirl, fear, tremble, travail, be in anguish, be pained. All right. To be distressed. uh, to whirl about, and they're gonna be going in circles and screaming and pulling out their hair, talking about why, Lord, why you ain't saved me, all right, and whatever bullshit that they're gonna be saying, all right. um, let me see. Let me go back to Joel. This is Joel 2:7. They shall run like men of war. They shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one on his way, and they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one on his path. When they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. All right. So he saw the missile defense systems, whatever he got in NORAD or whatever other bullshit that he got set up. They're not going to affect these missiles, man. Okay. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the walls. They shall climb upon the houses. They shall enter in at the window like a thief. All right. They shall quake. The earth shall quake before them. Salakia. The heavens shall tremble. The moon and the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. All right. Because once these missiles hit, you're going to see that mushroom cloud, just like we read in Isaiah, the 34th chapter. All right. And Yahweh shall utter his voice before his army. For his camp is very great, for he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of Yahweh is great and very terrible. Who can abide it? Yep, I'm gonna stop with that one. But these missiles, all right, just reading Joel 7-10, they're gonna be on point, man. All right. Going back into what that paragraph I read, it said I'm gonna read it again. The marvel of the ICBMs of the late 1970s and 1980s is that they are expected to land in circles with considerably smaller radii drawn around targets whose coordinates and characteristics can be precisely determined. So this was back in 1981 when this book was written. Just imagine now how much, imagine how much now, the advances in technology in regards to, your phone and processing of payments and all types of other bullshit that don't matter, right? The amount of money and research that they're putting into these missiles, they're going to be able to directly hit somebody on the head if they want to, man. Okay. But the Lord's going to allow this place, America, to be destroyed, man. And this is something that we want. All right. All right. This is going into the how far they can go. All right. It says the ballistic missile arrives on target in little more than 30 minutes after a 5,000 to 6,000 mile journey, which is spent in untouchable inner space where it is vitally impossible to take effective countermeasures against it. All right, there you go, man. So again, solidifying what the Lord allowed me to read in Joel, the 2nd chapter, these missiles ain't gonna be touched, man. All right. Let me see what this Isaiah 54. All right, this is going for development. All right, so I'm gonna read a little bit about the silos. All right, it says early deployment was in ground soft sites, and they only measured to reduce the vulnerability. Their vulnerability was geographic dispersal. Concern over the assumed Soviet threat during the missile gap era led to a decision to place most of the force in silos. Okay, so just like the Lord calls his army of missiles a force, all right, or an army, so does these militaries here. All right, it says a silo in silos, a reinforced concrete and steel structure designed to withstand overpressures of several thousand psi to reduce thermal and radiational effects. The silo is intended to minimize the vulnerability inherent in soft sites. A soft site can be put out of action by even a dynamic pressure from a large warhead, let alone overpressure, thermal and radiation effects. All right, so the silos, all right, which we can liken into the bow because that is what shoots the missile off or the arrow off. In regards to what we read in Second Ezra, the 16th chapter, the bow, all right, you can liken it to a silo, okay? And the silo is what gets the missile going so it can travel from China to America, so it can travel from Russia to America, so it can travel from Iran to America, all right? All right, here goes something about the missiles as well. It says the early ICBM missiles were unreliable and downright dangerous, using liquid fuels and highly corrosive and volatile chemicals. Don't think that those things are not going to be put into these missiles in this time, man. Okay. I like to say this a lot, and the burning degrees of a thermonuclear missile is 100 million degrees Celsius, man. That's hotter than the sun. Okay. And here are a list of missiles that America has that are known to the public. Okay. And it said that they're somewhere in some Air Force base over there in California. All right. But you can see them here. And it's 17 different ones. It goes from Titan, SS7, SS8, Minuteman 2, SS11, SS9, Minuteman 3, SS13, 16, 19, 18, and then you got the Soviet fifth generation ICBMs and MX. Okay. Okay, and Salakia, it says below are comparative views of Soviet and United States intercontinental ballistic missiles. All right, so these are comparative views of what Russia and United States of America missiles look like. Okay, all right, Salakia, man. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a whole lot. Salakia, I'm yawning, tired. All right, here goes something else. All right. It says, we read this earlier, but there's some more information on it. It says the ICBM flies a trajectory of between 5,000 to 6,000 miles, during which it goes through specific stages. Missiles can be cold or hot launched. Cold launch means the missiles is popped out of a silo by compressed gas, and then its engines are ignited, thus sparing the silo is a considerable amount of damage. The SS-19 and SS-18 utilize this technique, and so will the MX. And those are just the type of missiles. All right. Hot launch means the missile engines fire in the silo, which requires a considerable amount of refurbishment afterward. Once out of a silo, missiles have perhaps 6 to 8 minutes of powered flight to get up through the dense low atmosphere to a height of about 60 miles and about the same distance downrange. And then it goes into different types of vehicles that house these missiles. All right, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. All right. All right, let me get Joel. I mean, let me get 2 Peter, man. This is 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 9. It says, "The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but all should come to repentance." And the only ones that can repent, and just like who Peter was talking to, was Israelites, man. Okay. It says, "But the day of Yahweh will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up." All right, this is the second death, man. All right, these thermonuclear missiles, man. When they touch down, it's going to be, you people gonna wish y'all was in hell, man. That these Christians and these other religions talk about, man. All right. And going into what we read earlier in Isaiah the 34th chapter, it said the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. This heaven, all right, is the land of Babylon, man. Okay. All right, just like it said in Joel the 2nd chapter, it is presented, or it is as the Garden of Eden. All right. The place is presented as a paradise, but it's really a goddamn suck fest. Okay. All right. Verse 11, it says, "Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved." Let's look at the word dissolved here. All right, because we looked it up earlier in the Hebrew, it said to fret away, or to pine away. All right. It's a lot. All right, here you got to break up. All right, here we go. To dissolve something coherent into parts, to destroy. All right, metaphor, to overthrow, to do away with. And that's what the Lord's going to do with Babylon. All right, do away with this place by fire. All right. And it's justice. It's justice for us, and it's justified. All right, because that's what the Lord wants. All right. Continuing in verse 11, "Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons are ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness?" All right, how should we be conducting ourselves mentally and physically? All right, which goes hand in hand with our moral compass. All right, which is the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. All right. I said, "Looking for and hastening unto the coming day of Yahweh." All right, and those that look for and hasten to the coming day of the Lord, those are going to be the ones that are found faithful with the Lord in the times of refreshing, man. Okay. Wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved. This place called Babylon is a heaven to some people. All right. What is it? White man's heaven, black man's hell. All right. And the elements shall melt with fervent heat. So your house, your car, your woman, your man, your kids, your homes, your money, your resources. All right. Your job, people, your dogs, whatever. Okay. Things that you hold dearly in this world, they're going to melt if the Lord, in regards to people, if the Lord isn't saving them, man. Okay. Everything else and the people that the Lord ain't going to save, they're going to die some horrific way. And the most horrific way you can die is either by famine or these dang missiles right here, man. All right. It says, "Nevertheless, we, all right, we Israelites, okay, we the hopeful elect, all right, according to his promise, look for a new heaven, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness." All right. And what is righteousness? The law, statute, commandments, man. All right. And how can we show forth our righteousness? Because we can't keep the laws holy. We have to have and show faith. All right. So Lord will you is edified. I want to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaRakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who we're going to teach well. And I want to say shalom to the hopeful elect. Kwame Yasharali Mawafa Rubah Shalom.